Well, since I've reviewed 1980's Death Ship 7 or 8 times so far in this series, it seems only fair to take a look at 2002's Ghost Ship, which I've seen before but haven't featured thus far. First, let's talk about Dark Castle Entertainment for a second. As you may know, Dark Castle was born from the ashes of the Tales from the Crypt banner after 2 disappointing feature versions of the HBO series. It was initially created by the producers of those 2 films to remake William Castle movies, hence the name, but after the lackluster box office of House on Haunted Hill and 13 Ghosts, they shifted to other horror tales. Their 3rd film was Ghost Ship, also from the director of 13 Ghosts. Also, it's his last film. His last Hollywood anything, actually. Directed 2 movies in 2 years and, ghosted. If you've ever seen Ghost Ship, you know the one great thing about Ghost Ship. It was the only specific thing I remembered. I'm of course talking about the opening sequence, where the fancy passengers of a fancy ocean liner get freaking wrecked by a loose cable and all split into various fractions of their former whole bodies. This is all witnessed by Baby Deadwife from American Gods, who appears to be the only survivor. Look, no matter what else happens here, this sequence is cool and always will be. It's just unfortunate that the best thing in Ghost Ship happens in the first 5 minutes. We then flash forward to now, where we meet our main characters, a group of seafaring scavengers, including baby Carl Urban looking like AJ Styles. Also, yes, Gabriel Byrne and Juliana Margulies, yeah. The first few scenes with our main cast do that thing where there's a cut every 1.5 seconds, but that stops as the movie progresses, thanks sweet Satan. They're given a tip about a big score, and when they go to investigate, they crash right into the ghost ship, which if you haven't deduced is the ship we saw in the opening scene. Once aboard, the ship is spooky in various random ways, and eventually our heroes find a secret cache of gold. But as they begin to unload the gold, the ghost ship murders their boat. Then it starts murdering them because deep down this movie is just Soul Taker, and then there's a montage which explains the entire backstory, which is so unbelievably bad as it's set to garbage music. Juliana Margulies' character makes a point to explain she's just one of the guys and the crew is her family, which is why it's almost insulting that she's the one who has to get all gooey about the ghost of Emily Browning's character from the opening scene. Like, none of the menfolk could possibly be compassionate towards a child, only the woman could be, because motherhood and whatnot. Maybe this was better thought out in the script, but as it's portrayed in what's on screen, it's just lazy. I gotta admit, as dumb as the idea of it is, and it is dumb, believe me, it's also kind of refreshing that the spooky spirits just kind of sit with our characters and explain what the hell is going on. In the end, Ghost Ship is okay. It would be less than okay without that rad opening, but as it stands, it might be worth one viewing if you've never seen it. Much later in the Dark Castle filmography came 2007's The Reaping. The story takes place in the Louisiana Bayou, and our main characters work for Louisiana State University. This seems to be the setting so that the UK cast, like Idris Elba and David Morrissey, can have dodgy accents that can mostly be explained away as, Cajun swamp people. I'm surprised they didn't get Jean-Claude Van Damme in here somewhere. Hilary Swank plays a debunker of religious miracles, and so far in her investigations has come up with a scientific explanation for each and every case she's investigated. But when she gets a request to study the blood rivers of Haven, she's about to be faced with her greatest spooky challenge. For all the talk of Hollywood being a leftist, godless wasteland, religious horror movies, of which there are plenty, always seem to go out of their way to make the character who doesn't believe in God out to be the biggest jackass in the film, and just rubs their wrongness in their face like James Cagney with the grapefruit. Oh, sorry, you can't hear that old man reference alarm because that's actually the old man's dad's reference alarm, and that guy's dead. Anyway, The Reaping seems pretty typical for a Dark Castle production. A decent cast hampered by highly suspect CG effects and nonsensical scares. Did the CG locusts just eat the cameraman? Swank at one point awakens from 2 nightmares, and then either during or immediately afterwards has 2 visions also. At that point, I no longer knew if anything in the movie was even actually happening. The end of the movie tries to make some of this seem like a big twist, but nah. On the plus side, I will say how surprising it is that Idris Elba survives as long as he does. I figured he was a goner in the first act, but he makes it all the way to the third. However, he does go out like a chump, which is rage-inducing. In the end, it seems as though this movie is about the devil doing a bunch of things that lead the one person who can defeat him straight to him. Dumb. So dumb. When the credits started to roll, I wondered aloud what rookie garbage director was put in charge of this, and was shocked to see Stephen Hopkins' name. I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street 5 and Predator 2 aren't great, but they're way better than this. And 1994's Blown Away, as goofy as it can get, is still something that's way better than its reputation. This? Ooh.
It's a Mr. Death or something. He's come about the reaping. I don't think we need any at the moment.
You said it.